Good morning, children.
Good morning, Auntie.
Good morning. Sit down.
Thank you.
Okay. Last time we studied the difference between the Janpadas and the Mahajanpadas, right? And we saw and we learned how they strengthened their forts and why fortification or the Kile Bandi was important. Right, and the last thing we discussed was taxes. We had just discussed that what are taxes, the revenue which is required. Right, can you tell me any two major reasons why Mahajanpads needed taxes? One reason, Priyansh.
Auntie, they had such a big fort to maintain that they collected taxes so that they could maintain it.
Very good. Yes, Shrishti. For maintaining the society means taking general care of people. Yes, Sahil.
Fights, they wanted powerful weapons.
Along with weapons, what else they needed for the fight?
Soldiers, Auntie.
Soldiers, armies. Very good. Right. So basically, taxes were needed for three purposes. Expenses of fortification, then general maintenance, and then army maintenance and payment. Right. These were three main reasons for which taxes were taken. I also told you, and you also told me that day, that which section of the society will be expected to give in most of the tax. Yes, Nimra. Farmers. Exactly. So the farmer were the first category.
Then craftsmen.
We will go step by step. Let's see what did the farmers do. All right. So now we will see that how taxes were taken. So as you yourself know that at that time the most prominent profession was farming. So farmers had to pay maximum tax, and that was 1/6 of their. Who said salary? Acha, Advik, please stand. Do farmers get salary? Just wait. Let him answer. So will it be their salary?
No, Auntie.
Then what it would be? Wait, Priyansh.
Auntie, it would be their
Earning. There is a difference between earning and salary. Right? Salary is when somebody employs someone and then pays. Okay? It is their self-income. Right? So sit down. Yes, Mayuri.
People do own jobs like business, then they have earnings. And when people go to jobs and
They work for somebody else, then they get salary. Correct. Now wait. Yes, Devanshi, what do you want to tell?
The farmers, Auntie, they also work for the Mahajanpadas, Auntie, so that the food can grow over and then it can be supplied to everybody.
All right. So those, good point.
I agree with the salary, I think so, Auntie.
I'll explain better. Good point. At least you have put your doubt. Shlok, tell me what you want to say. I'm coming to you, Devanshi. I'm explaining your point.
Auntie, it was known as bhava.
That I will tell. Okay, sit down. Now, what Devanshi has said that yes, many landless farmers did not have their own land, right? And then they had to work on somebody else's land, and then they got, but still we will not call it salary. It would be some kind of payment. Sometimes that payment was not even cash. It was in form of a crop only. Okay, whatever they require for eating for the whole year, they will be paid that much of crop, and that was their payment. Okay, so let's say that the farmer who grew crops on their own lands and they sold their produce in the market. So whatever they got out of it, 1/6 of their produce cost, right? And it was known, as he said, Shikhar said, that it was known as bhaga. Is same. Bhag matlab hissa, the share. Okay, so whatever they earned out of that, 1/6 they gave to the state, right? Okay, this was the first category. Then craftsmen. This was the second category. So what did craftsmen do? Who are craftsmen? Aditya, tell me, who are craftsmen? Pottery, jewelry making, ironsmith, silversmith, goldsmith, ornament making, potters, all are craftsmen. Handicrafts, yes. Yes, Advik? Any kind of skilled work is craftsmanship. Very good. Huh? Aircraft. No, there was no aircraft at that time. All right. So what did the craftsmen do? They had to work for the state, right? They did not have to pay in cash or products. They had to work. Suppose they had to make some utensils, they have to make some jewelry, they have to make the weapons. Depending on their craft or their expertise, they had to contribute in terms of labor. They paid in terms of their labor. Okay. Now the third category was herders. Sarthak, tell me, who are herders? Loudly. Herders are those who kill. Yes, Agraj.
Cattle and cows.
Those who own cattle, cows, buffaloes, goats, right? So people who domesticate animals. So the herders was also a very prominent group, and they had to pay in terms of animals and their products. So Sarthak, can you tell me what will be the products? Animal products. What will be the animal products they will be giving? Wait. Suppose I am a herder and I have a cow, then I have buffaloes, then I have goat, I have hen. What will I be paying as a tax? Do you know what are animal products? Try to guess, beta, you know the answer. Okay, sit. Yes, Aditya. Milk. Okay, one at a time. Milk. Dairy products. Meat. Eggs. Right? Wool. So animal and animal product. Now I told you that lot of active trade was happening. So trade means goods being bought and sold. So as per the quantity of the sales.
Exporting and importing.
Exporting, importing is outside or inside country. But suppose there is a shopkeeper who is buying goods and selling goods, right? He also will be paying some share. So this is the fourth category, trade. And then the last is hunters and gatherers. Yes, Shikha, tell me.
Auntie,
What will they give?
Auntie, hunter and gatherers provide the king forest king.
Forest what? Forest products. Okay. Sit down. Good attempt. Zuhair.
Auntie, in that time, auntie hunter-gatherers were not living in that area. Auntie, they were living auntie hills and forests.
They lived in, yes.
And auntie, if they have to sell something, one of the king's soldier or any main soldier came there in the forest and hills. They do the deed and then they came because they were not allowed to inside the fort.
No, but what would they give as tax?
Auntie, like forest things, auntie, fruits.
Okay, very good. So yes, the hunters and gatherers did not live in the main city. They lived in the forest. So they offered forest products, may it be wood, may it be medicine, the herbal medicines, right? Meat of animals killed, all right. Fine, the hunted animals, fine. Skins of animal, very good. Tusk and all that. Bark of trees, all right. So have you understood which categories paid the taxes? The farmers, the craftsmen, the herders, the traders, hunters and gatherers, right? Okay, so now tax is clear to you. Now there were many changes in agriculture. Okay, one major change in agriculture we saw in the we discussed in the previous chapter. Wait, Shikhar. Yes, Anushka. Plowing the crops, but what major difference in plowing? You have got the point, Anushka. But can you tell me what was that major difference in terms of plowing? Nikunj. Metal. Which metal? Iron. Very good. Earlier, what were the plows made up of? Clay for toys and wood. Now they were using iron. I told you now it is after the iron had been discovered and used. So this major change from wooden plows to iron plow, it definitely helped agriculture. You can imagine, suppose this is a wood and we are trying to plow. So the upper layer may only come, but with an iron plow we may be able to dig further. Right? So what will happen?
So it lasts for many years.
Yes.
And it can dig under many things.
Yes. It was more strong, so it lasted. There was no risk of it breaking frequently, and it made the agriculture better because they were able to dig better, they were able to plow better, the soil was more porous and easy, comparatively less labor. Right? So agriculture improved. The second difference, the change that happened was use of paddy. Can anybody tell me what are paddy crops? Rice, very good. Scattering seed is the original way. Suppose I want to grow some plant, like I am growing mirchis these days. So what I do, I break the mirchi, the dried one, and I sprinkle the seeds on the soil. I dig it and mix it well, and after some time. So this is a general way of agriculture. Isn't that the way how the agriculture started? Right? The agriculture started that sometimes when they were eating the plant or something, the seeds fell down on the ground. They grew into crops and they realized, oh, okay, the seeds grow into crops. Yes? Who is? Yes, Zohe.
Auntie, till that, meanwhile, the rice were very rarely there in that time. Auntie, after that, one major development came that rice were growing in every season and everywhere. Auntie, the major difference is the rice growing is big. Auntie, because rice were very rare in that time.
No, rice was used in plenty. But the method of growing rice changed.
Yes, auntie, every farmer developed the rice and grow it.
They developed the paddy, right? The small plants, and then they sowed it in the field. Right, saplings. They took the saplings. Don't we do it in our gardening? We all do gardening, or at least we have seen how gardening is being done. We bring the planted saplings and then they grow. And imagine you are starting from seed. There are two ways of growing something. One thing is I sow the seed, then I prepare the plant properly, add manure, give it sunlight, water, etc., etc., and then it will germinate, right? The other way is I brought for my garden. Suppose I don't have that much time to grow it from the seed. So what I'll do, I'll go to the market, I'll buy the small sapling, I'll put it in my pot and it will grow. Well, definitely it's more time saving. I may see the flower early than I would have expected, especially in winters, it's the flowering season, right? So exactly the same way for rice. They started sowing the saplings. Like earlier, suppose this is the field, right? And they threw the seeds over here. So some may grow here, some may grow here, some may grow here, some may grow, and some may not grow at all. Right? Now what they did, they had a small part where they grew. They threw the seeds and all the saplings grew there. And then they planted in a order.
Just like in little bit of water.
And then they were soaked. Rice needs lot of water. The fields were soaked in water. So now definitely, if they are growing in order, and we have planted only those plants which have already started showing growth. So this will have a better output, or this will have a better output. Figure B. Right? So this was a big improvement in the system of agriculture that growing rice through paddy crops started. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Auntie, in that time, auntie, there were coins. So auntie, who made the coins in that time?
Alright, though it is away from the topic, just let me tell you this one line about agriculture, then I will answer your question. Okay, now definitely throwing seed is very easy. I stand in my field, I throw the seeds like that. But if I have to plant, I have to plant. It's a tough task. It's back-breaking task. So they had dasas or karmacharis for that. Yeah, das and dasis and karmacharis, the workers for doing this task. Now coming to your question, Zohair. Who made the coins? Okay, they were the metal craftsmen. There were guilds where the coins are made. It is called a guild. It's like a factory. Hi, in Mohenjo-daro, right? Where's Zohair? So they used to take the metal and whatever had to be drawn, it was released by the state, and there were guilds where all these metal coins were made.
Auntie, the people that auntie in the factory, they can't do that that they can make some money from that.
No. Why to imagine that there was corruption those days also? Everything was very well accounted, beta. The amount of metal given, the expected number of coins to be made, everything was well calculated and it tallied. Right? Sit down. Yes, Devanshi.
You said that the starting like metal craft. So auntie, the whole community and maybe the king, auntie, how could you believe that this craftsman
is being honest?
Yes, auntie.
Let's imagine that there was
systems and
definitely. I know it was much tougher those days, right? And that is a system of faith, trust, right? There has to be some system of trust, but there was monitoring also. There were guards who monitored them, and trust. Yes, right. Yes, Sahil, tell me.
Now happening. With the machines, it was so difficult. So at that time, it took
so long for...
Yes, it took lot of time. It was round the clock work, but you know, the requirement today is much more than the requirement of the people in those days. Can you imagine the people going for shopping into malls those days? Right? Having fancy restaurants and cinema halls and everything. So the kharchas, you know, the expenses were so less. But it was round the clock. Right? Okay. Now coming to a very important Mahajanpad, Magad. No beta, it was 2300 years, more than 2300 years, that is 2300 years ago.
Auntie,
Yes, Agraj?
Auntie, the kingdom was set in other parts of the country.
Yes, it had extended. It had extended.
Also, we studied that it was near the river Ganga and the river Ganga flowed through it.
Yes.
There were many.
See, Magad is somewhere where current Bihar is.
Yes.
Alright. So it had two rivers, River Ganga
And son of Ganga.
and River Son. It's not Sun, it's Son. Zohair, please don't talk. Right? I am telling you why Magad became such a strong Mahajanpad. Right? There were two major advantages. One was the river system. Now what do the rivers do?
Auntie.
Water supply?
Transport. Auntie, transport.
Very good. Transport. One at a time. One. Making the land fertile. One at a time. You will not speak like that. Wait. Now, today's class we will stop here. All right. You will take a map of India and on a physical map
Find Mahajanpad.
you can draw also, no problem. This is the homework. Physical map of India. Mark Magad. Shade the area because it will not be one point. Shade the area. Mark rivers and capitals. There were two capitals. Rajgriha and Pataliputra. All right, and we will continue the discussion on Magad, and then the next very important Mahajanpad, Vajji. We will be discussing about that in the next class. Okay? Thank you, children.
Thank you.